What's going on, everyone? Talon back here, and today I wanted to bring back a series that is long overdue, and that is a weekend of Mailbox. So if you weren't around when I was starting this out, it was about 3 months ago or something like that. It was going on for a while, but then just a lot of stuff was hitting JP, and I was busy and everything, and kind of for parts of it I just forgot about. And I was just like, you know what? I really want to bring this series back because I did like getting some of the questions. Some of them were pretty repetitive because this is Dokkan and it's not a huge, expansive game, but nonetheless, it was really fun to do. So I want to be bringing this series back. So what is this exactly? If you're new to this, basically it's where you leave your comments in a video. So for the next one, it's going to be this video because I already have questions that I'm answering right now. And if I find something that is interesting, or I find something that is majorly liked by a lot of people, okay, so keep it on those two fronts, then I will answer them in the next video, or I will give my opinions on them, you know, something like, you know, what do you think is, you know, what's going to happen to this, you know, do you think the mechanics in this game are going to work, you know, and it doesn't have to be just Dokkan, it can be anything. It can be Dragon Ball Z FighterZ, it can be Dragon Ball related, it can be just game related in general. I know we all play more than just a simple little gacha game. So go ahead and leave your comments down below as always. Please don't ask questions about, should I summon on this banner? Should you summon on this? I've answered plenty of those questions already in videos already that you can go ahead and check those out. You know, don't ask me, is this a good team or anything like that? That is, you know, that is all up to you. That is your judgment because we all have different abilities. I have given you, you know, answers through other videos. So again, go ahead and check those out. So right now, let's just go through these 3 questions that I've been getting a lot, both on Twitter and just in random videos myself. Just kind of start up and refresh this little series, and then we'll continue on next week and everything like that. So yeah. So first question comes from, just comes from a lot of people, and essentially it's asking, what do you think we're gonna get in JP since the 120% leads are just about finished? So if you don't know what they're talking about, everyone's talking about essentially. Brawly is going to be leaving on the 21st of July. Right now, we have that Wish for the Stars banner right now, which had that top 7 list going on right now. So, like Super Saiyan 4, Goku and Vegeta, Strength Vegeta, all those guys, that little banner is out right now. But that ends on the 17th. Brawly ends on the 21st, and that's the last of the 120% leads. Obviously, they'll be coming back in other banners, but in terms of new stuff, that is the last thing. So it's kind of like, okay, what do we get next? I mean, the only thing left that we can really think of is the fact that we don't have the physical 90% LR. And that could be the next, you know, banner to come out. Could be a double rates banner, which honestly, I would say skip it. Don't go for it. Unless you're lacking in just some basic SSRs, and maybe they have some featured SSRs on there that you could use to put into your mono teams, that'd be okay. But in terms of trying to go for it explicitly that LR, don't do it because he's not going to be featured, or, you know, whoever it might be. So don't go for that. So what do I think is going to come next? Honestly, I'm not really sure. And the reason for that is because we have these 120% leads, and it's definitely divided a lot how a lot of people look at this game. Not just simply the cards themselves or the abilities, but also just the practice that Bandai has decided to do for this particular spot in the game itself. You know, releasing constant 120 banners 2 weeks after, you know, basically 2 weeks, every 2 weeks or so, and it can get crazy, especially if you can't buy stones or anything like that, or even if you can buy them, a lot of us have started opting to just be like, you know, we can't keep doing this anymore. So, you know, I haven't summoned, personally, I have not summoned on my main account since June 1st. It is July 8th right now, so yeah, and by the time something new could potentially come, it's gonna be August already. That's 2 months of no spending, and which obviously I'm gonna say this feels great. But you know, the whole point of this game is to summon and then use those to make some teams to go for the Dokkan events and everything like that. So what do I think could potentially come? A lot of people want dual leads, you know, like you know, strength and physical, or intel and agility, or something like that. Which I have to admit, that would be pretty cool. But the thing is that we kind of have those already through a lot of rebirths and new cards that are coming out right now. So, I mean, take something like the Int Whis or the Tech Whis. When they got their rebirths, that's what they became. Now, granted, they don't give, obviously, the big boost, but they usually do something like Ki +2, HP and defense up 30%, or attack and defense up 50%, or defense and HP up 70% for someone like the Nova Shenron when he got his rebirth and everything like that. So I don't particularly see that coming, because especially if you look at something with the way that the game's been going. We've gone mono leads, then rainbow. Rainbow was Gogeta. Then we finished off the mono leads. Then we went into the 70% mono leads, along with the what we call the demigods, the 100% leads with no key. Then we went into, you know, kind of in between there, a Raleigh came out. And then after that, we went into the 120% leads, and then Master Bardock was mixed in there to be the rainbow leader. So, and all these like dual type leads and everything like that, that stuff is going in all, you know, that's been mixed in with the rebirths and everything. And even the 90% LRs themselves are mono leads. Granted, it's not a mono villain or mono hero, they are just simply the mono leads, whereas the 120% leads are the hero or villain ones. So what could be next? I honestly just can't say. I mean, it could easily just be something simple like, okay, we're now going to do the super and villains ones. So I personally hope we do get a hero and villain, next hero and villain ones to be like, you know, 100% up and key +3 or something like that, or key +2. But then it also begs the question of, because Global is having that voting thing right now with the Vegito Blue, which means obviously it has to be made here in Japan because, you know, they make it for both versions of the game. And then if someone like Vegito wins, he's going to be an LR super card, which maybe they already have plans for that in the future. It's hard to say, but I'm not sure. But maybe this, the new hero and the villain leaders can be something, you know, whether it's a, you know, upgraded version of Rose or Vegito or Trunks and Zamasu, because both of those guys are a little different. Rose is +3 key, but a lower attack, HP, and defense boost, whereas Zamasu is like the 70% leaders, but less key. So if they do something like that, I'd personally be okay with that, because I love running hero and villain leads. I miss those days, and you can barely find those guys sometimes. And like I said before in my other videos, it is fun to run these 120% leads sometimes, but, you know, one-shotting events like Goku and everything, Global, you're going to find this out pretty soon that, yeah, you can beat the events and it's cool and everything, but it gets boring after a while. Like, you'll play it and you won't touch it for a while, so yeah. So honestly, I hope that hero and villains can make a comeback, you know, in terms of those leaders and everything like that, but other than that, I don't know. Maybe 150% with no key, you know, a demigod, you know, who knows what could be happening, so I'm not really sure on that, unfortunately, so yeah. And then, so another question I've been seeing quite a bit from more of the Dragon Ball FighterZ fans that I like to talk with and everything like that is they're all asking, how can we prepare for this game? We have the closed beta coming up, but we really don't, you know, how can you prepare, especially if you're not huge into fighting games? And my message to them and to anyone who may also have that question is, go and play BlazBlue and Guilty Gear. Those games are made by the same developers, Arc Systems. And if you go and play those games, it's obviously not exactly the same. Those are obviously more weapon-based and on the ground, and Dragon Ball Z is all about flying and ki blast and everything like that. But nonetheless, it is the same type of layout. Four face buttons for 4 different attacks, and then obviously with combos and everything like that, and that can kind of get you the idea of what they potentially could be going for. Another game that some people will recommend is one of the Marvel vs. Capcom games, although I think the new one, the Infinite, when the beta came out, or the demo or something like that, a lot of people were bashing it actually, and not saying it wasn't so good. So I don't know personally about that game, but I can tell you right now, BlazBlue, like I went and picked up Guilty Gear, I went up and picked up BlazBlue, and I've been playing those games and just practicing in my spare time, and it's actually really fun just to go back and play those games. But it can particularly help you when it comes to when the beta comes out for FighterZ, whenever that comes out, probably August. I think it was kind of leaked that it is August, but it's not 100% confirmed yet. And I don't know how you're going to be able to get into it, but doing something like that can definitely help you prepare for that. I personally can't wait for the game. I'm waiting here in Japan for the magazine to start giving us our next character reveal. It's probably going to be about a character reveal per month. And if they release it around February, March time, because that's early 2018, then that's probably going to be, you know, that's another, what, 7, 8 months or so on top of the out of the 7 characters that we have now. So that's around 15 characters, 20 characters, give or take. So it's around in the bracket that I figure from a developer like this that we're probably going to get. We're not going to see 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 characters. We're probably going to see 20 to 30 at maximum, and I would say 30 after characters are released, you know, post, you know, release, whether that's via DLC, free DLC, or 99 cents, or like you can unlock it this way, or you can buy it. It's hard to say. But yeah, that could be something interesting. So let me know if you're interested in picking up FighterZ, and if you have played other games from Arc Systems, and if you are preparing yourself for that, because I personally am. It's getting a lot of hype, and the fact that it is still one of the most popular games to come out of E3 says a lot right there. So yeah. And then the final question I've also been getting from mostly a lot of global players, because I've been trying to cover the year 4 for you guys to kind of tell you like, hey, this is what we have from JP and everything. Should you be going for this or not? is, will Global hit the kind of slump that JP has hit? And what do I mean by that? So a lot of people, when Super Saiyan 4 on JP came out, we were all excited. We were happy building all these teams and everything like that. You know, back in the day where we were still running villains on these hero teams, even though we really shouldn't have, but it was still fun and kind of interesting to do so. I would say probably, let's see, after Cooler, yeah, probably after, because after Cooler, then we got Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and then after that, right after Goku, it's just kind of like these 120% banners start coming out and out so fast. And it was just like, we knew what was expected. There wasn't a lot of diversity between them. We really started noticing that. And, you know, I would say Janemba definitely had a little bit more diversity in there. Yeah, he might be a kind of a carbon copy of his Intel form, but he definitely, compared to the 120% leaders, because that's what he was going for, that's, you know, he's definitely a little bit different there, and he's honestly one of my favorites to run. So will Global kind of hit this same thing? I think in a way, yes, you will. But the one thing that Global has that JP doesn't is that after going for these guys, you know, especially as content creators, that you know, what, not just me, but others that you might watch as well, you know, we can definitely tell you that, hey, go for this banner, don't go for this banner, completely ignore this, don't chase the LRs, chase this, go for this. You know, it gives you your best value in terms of trying to summon and everything like that. And then, because you can still take those 70% leads that you have and still beat these events, and if you get lucky and pull these guys off of a single or something like that, then that is great. But honestly, there's a lot of stuff that you can skip in this, and we've gone over this in other videos and everything like that, and we will continue to do that for you, hopefully at least. So like when Cooler's about to come out, we're going to tell you yes or no. When Kid Buu comes out, we're going to tell you yes or no and things like that. So hopefully, and if you guys have been pulling the Super Saiyan 4, you can basically wipe out any of these events until Brawly's out, basically. So yeah. So do I think Global's going to hit that? Yes, but I think they're going to be a lot safer because you're going to know exactly what to go for and what not to go for. And who knows, maybe Global will mix things up. They have done that a little bit. You know, in the end, everything will be out that we got on JP, but maybe they'll switch things up. Maybe some banners actually might look better, but we still might tell you not to summon on them, or how to go for them and everything like that. So, and you can help prepare yourselves by looking at our videos from JP and preparing for certain events, and maybe you're like, oh, well, maybe I actually don't need to summon because this guy really isn't needed for this event. So yeah. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. That's going to be the end of the Mailbox little, you know, return here, essentially. Let me know down in the comments below, though, what you want to have my thoughts on something, you know, whether, again, it's on Dokkan, another Dragon Ball Z game, or just something on another game entirely. You know, PlayStation 4, Xbox, you know, PC, any games from Destiny to you name it, basically. Go ahead and leave your comments down below. I always like to see more things than just simply Dokkan. Again, don't ask me those simple questions that I know a lot of people are probably going to ask, but nonetheless, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you liked the video. Subscribe if you happen to be new. It always does help. And until next time, everyone, I will see you in the next one.